Hey YouTube, it's James from the Wyvern Watch again here. I thought I'd get a second profile in this evening. Hopefully upload them both tonight so you can have a good watch over them. This deck is a bit different. So this is my, well, its name is a bit different. So I call this the Danger Castle Adventures. Because it's one of my own sort of concoctions, if you like. But from the name, you can sort of think about what sort of monsters might be in this deck. But it is a bit of a concoction of 3 different archetypes, and I've had such good fun playing this and testing it. So I just thought I'd bring this to the table, see what you all think. Get a few comments on it. You know, if there's anything that you'd like me to explain a bit deeper, please do put a comments in the put a comment on, and obviously like it if you like it, dislike it if you don't like it. Don't dislike it if you don't like it. I like likes, not dislikes. But no, on a serious note, do throw some comments in, because like I say, it's one of my own sort of this has come from my imagination, really, that's all. So it started life as the Fairy Tale deck, just running the Fairy Tale monsters from Battles of Legend Relentless Revenge, I think it's called, BLLR, I think it is. So yeah, the cards are a little bit older now, but I've had them since they were first released and just never really done anything with it. But now I've decided to throw it together. Now the adventure package has become a little bit more accessible. I've put that in there as well, and along with a few others. So let's get on with the deck profile. The extra deck doesn't get used an awful lot, so there's a bit of amalgamation of just monsters that I know could be summoned, but actually we don't use it an awful lot. But the first card, as you can see, is Hextrude. Now, she is not only a stunner, of course, the babe of the deck, if you like, but this is the sort of main monster you'll be summoning off the back of Golden Castle or Stormberg. So, is it Stormberg or Stromberg? I think it's Stromberg, actually, isn't it? Yeah, Stromberg. So, she's the, she can be special summoned using the Stormborg effect, of course, Stromborg effect. And once per turn, if Golden Castle Stormberg is in the field zone, you can target 1 card on the field, except this one, and destroy it. And if I do, this card can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase this turn. So really, really handy, this card. And we also maximise the fact that it is level 8 as well, so we can go into level 8 Xyz monsters as well. So that's Hextrude, first monster. Second monster is this one. Hang on a sec, why have I not got those ready? The Glyph the Phantom Bird, level 4 wind type monster, which has its uses, but actually it's another way of getting to the Golden Castle of Stromberg ASAP, because obviously it can be discarded to put it into your hand. But if this card is normal or special summoned, I can target 1 card in your opponent's spell track card and destroy it. Spell track card zone. So a bit of handy removal there as well. But again, great looking card also in Secret Rare. Next card is the Princessin, or Cinders, of course. I honestly don't know why we just didn't call it Cinderella. I'm presuming there's some sort of licensing laws going on here. But if this card is normal or special summoned, you can special summon 1 Pumpkin Carriage from your hand or deck. Then, if Golden Castle Stromberg is on the field, you can equip 1 Glass Slippers from your deck to this card. So it's all drawing from the deck to make sure we're not drawing those cards and putting them into our hand. As it's also thinning the deck, of course. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, and by a direct attack, you can target 1 Glass Slippers equipped to this card and 1 face-up monster on the field. Equip the Glass Slippers to that target. We'll get to Glass Slippers in a minute. But because it special summons the Pumpkin Carriage from the deck, Pumpkin Carriage also allows this card to attack directly, so that second effect is nice and easy to get off. But yeah, that's Cinders. Next card, of course, is the Pumpkin Carriage. I've gone for 2 of these because obviously we can special summon with the effect of Princessin, but like I say, it's meaning that Princessin can attack directly, and your opponent also can't target Golden Castle Stromberg with card effects, and also it can't be destroyed by card effects, so it makes the Golden Castle a lot more difficult to get rid of. The next 4 cards are the Iron Hands and the Iron Knight, which work hand in hand together. One special summons the other, and it's just a nice little sort of rank 4 options. We tend not to attack with these monsters, to be honest. I think it's really just to sort of go into some rank 4 options if we need it, but they do go nicely with the archetype. Next card is a bit of a standalone one. This is Necroface. Because we are banishing a lot of cards with the Golden Castle, if this card is normal summon, shuffle all banished cards into the deck. This card gains 100 attack for each card shuffled into the main deck by this effect. If this card is banished, each player banishes 5 cards from the top of their deck, or their entire deck if less than 5. So it's just a way of sort of recycling those banished cards, because after a few rounds with Castle of Stromberg on the field, it will be difficult to come back from that if you haven't got that option. We're then on to the last engine, the second engine, which is the Danger engine, of course. So we've got Danger Bigfoot. In fact, I'll put them like this again. I won't go into these. We know what Danger cards do. I've got 1 Nessie, 1 Thunderbird, 1 Tsukinoko, and 1 Jackalope. So though this is the Danger component, so more often than not we pick one up in the opening hand, one or the other, and then obviously we're running from there. Danger Bigfoot's the level 8, hence there's 2 of them. Nessie's just a good option. Thunderbird again, level 8. These guys will just pick them up, and I've got a couple of rank 3 exceeds to use with those as well. And the last engine, of course, which we'll be fairly familiar with as well, is the Adventure engine. So Water Enchantress of the Temple. I just think they all fit quite nicely together as well. You know how the fairy tale is all made up monsters, and of course so is things like the Bigfoot and the Nessie, all little legends. And I think the adventure package fits quite nicely with it and just gives them that little extra negate option. Of course, I am playing the Illegal Knight and the Wandering Griffin Rider as well to go with those, just so we've got the Illegal Knight option as well. I just really like that card as well. I think it's quite a sweet looking thing. But yeah, so got those available now. And then we move on to spells, quite a few monsters, but we'll move on to spells. So the main card itself, of course, is the Golden Castle of Stromberg. This is a nasty little card if you're not familiar with it. So once per turn during your standby phase, you must banish 10 cards from the top of your deck face down. This is not optional, or this card is banished, or this card is destroyed. During your main phase, you can special summon 1 monster from your deck that specifically lists the card Golden Castle of Stromberg on its text. Hence, that's generally why we go for the Hextrude. You can't normal summon the turn you activate this effect, even if this card leave the field. You can only use the effects of Golden Castle of Stromberg once per turn. When your opponent monster declares an attack, destroy the attacking monster, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the attack of that monster had on the field. That's not a once per turn thing, so if your opponent is not familiar with this card and just keeps attacking into it, that will work every time, and until the opponent manages to get rid of this card. Hence why it sees a lot of play in other sort of stall decks, if you like. But this is its sort of home turf, I would say. I'm also playing 2 Iron Cage as well. Again, a nasty little one, but when this card is activated, send 1 monster you control to the graveyard, or 1 Golden Castle of Stromberg in a field or if a Golden Castle of Stromberg is in the field zone, you can send 1 monster your opponent controls to the graveyard instead. Once per turn during your standby phase, you can target the monster that was sent to the graveyard by this card's effect, destroy this card, and if you do, special summon that monster to your field. You can only do 1 of those per turn. I think it's again a continuous one, that. And we mentioned it before, but this is the 1 Glass Slippers, just to draw from Princess's effect, assuming Golden Castle of Stromberg's on the field. This is where if the card is equipped to a fairy monster, it gains 1000 attack. If this card is equipped to a non-fairy monster, it cannot attack. Also, it loses 1000 attack. And if this card is sent to the graveyard because the equipped monster is destroyed, you can target 1 princess you control, equip this card to that target. You can only use the effect of Glass Slippers once per turn. Next up is the part of the adventure package, of course. So we've got Rite of Aramesia at 3 as per usual. I can't understand why anyone probably would do any different. And of course, there is also the one copy of Fateful Adventure, which of course you would expect, along to go with the dragon back, the rideable dragon, just to make up the rest of that package. I'm hoping to get the collector's rares versions of these at some point, but these will have to do for now, as they're still horrific in cost. Last two spells of the deck are just a couple of one-offs. So we've got, of course, the terraforming to search out that golden castle, and the one trading. Obviously, as we are carrying a number of level 8 monsters, just an extra little bit of draw power there. Onto traps. The only traps we are now playing are the 3 copies of There Can Only Be One. Obviously, in the deck we are running a number of different monster types, so it should impact our deck a lot less than it impacts most other archetypes. So that's why we're running it at 3 in this point in time, and that ends the main deck. Now, as I mentioned before, the extra deck is a certain sort of mismatch, really. There's no sort of archetypal monsters in there, so it's just a case of you know, utilizing what monsters we are able to get on the field, and you know, summon certain monsters in certain conditions. So we'll go for the Xyz monsters first of all. There's only a couple of links, in fairness, but we've got Ashura King, which I think is an underestimated monster. That's quite powerful, especially for just the level 3 requirements. I normally run Tornado Dragon in any deck that can incorporate a rank 4, but it being you know, just a back row killer is always good news. Number 82, Highland Draco. Anything that we sort of carry on continuous spells on the field, or field spells, is always a good option to have for a rank 4. On to rank 7s, I've got number 76, Harmonizing Gradiel, which is actually the only deck I've ever played that monster in. But of course we do run Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon as well. Always a good rank 7 in my opinion. On to rank 8s, I've got a few. So we've got the Zombie Vampire, proving more popular at the moment. Hieratic Sun Dragon, Overlord of Heliopolis even. Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon Dragon, always a good one. Number 90, Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. Number 38, Hope Harbinger. And we've got also Alcy the Sylvan High Protector as well. I'm running that many Xyz monsters, of course. We're also running the one copy of Zeus, of course. That's it for the Xyz monster lineup. And just a few links. So really just the Nightmare package in this circumstance. So 1 Phoenix, 1 Cerberus, and 1 Unicorn. Fairly standard stuff. That's it for the deck profile. Thank you very much for getting all the way to the end. Sorry about the little break in the middle. If you do have any questions or comments about this deck, I appreciate it. It's probably not one you've seen before. Hopefully you do come across it, because it's probably not one you search either. If you do like it, please do comment. I do appreciate a little bit of feedback, whether it be good or bad, to be fair. But yeah, just see what you think. Everyone likes their adventure package, don't they? But I just put a little twist on it with the Golden Castle and Fairy Tale archetypes. That's it for me. Thank you once again. I'll see you next time for the next profile.